What is going on, everybody? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, and it is Sunday night, April 23rd of 2017. Hope everybody's doing wonderful out there. We just finished this weekend a couple things. Number one, Pisces. Not literally with the sun in Pisces. We've already been through all that, but this is some of the heaviest Pisces that we went through this weekend that we'll see for a while. We're coming out of a lot of fog. There's a lot of insight that came out of this weekend. And I think that we all need to pay attention to the big things that happened this weekend. Number one, the South Node is about to leave Pisces and enter Aquarius on May 9th. When the moon comes around into Pisces again, right in about 28 days from now, 26 days, guess what? That's past May 9th. So this is the last time that the moon is going to cross over the South Node. Two, Venus. It's finishing up in Pisces this weekend, and it's been in a very difficult aspect. It's been hanging out with Chiron. It's been hanging out with the square to Saturn. If you watched any of my live videos that have been going on recently, I do a talk about this. You want to check it out on my YouTube, or you can check it out on my live stream about how weird this was for Venus and how it was this beautiful goddess stuck and trapped with Quasimodo and some old guy that likes to eat his kids. It's the best way I could describe it for you. And the moon passed this aspect this weekend in Pisces, and it came on top of Venus, and they're moving out, okay? So if you look at the scope of Pisces now, after this week coming up, all that's going to be left is Neptune and Chiron, the South Node until May 9th. And actually, technically, if you follow mean node astrology, we're actually going to get out of this South Node of Pisces, which makes it so strong, in the next couple days, like at the end of this week. By April 29th, we come into Leo and Aquarius and mean node astrology. So what was the big realization this weekend? Number one, we all really want things in our life. Materially, things to achieve in our life, relationships to be a certain way. And this weekend really showed you that you learn things from the universe in the place that it's supposed to be. And it's hard because I think sometimes we want things to be so specific. We want things to go so a certain way. We want to feel the best of the world at all times, and we want to be able to make everything happen when we're in a universe where, you know, one thing happens at a time. And that's the whole thing about Venus square Saturn, is things happen one step at a time. And it's about learning to appreciate each step, whether it's a relationship you're going through, whether it's something that you physically want. I'll use an example in my life. It was hard for me this weekend, even though I had some of the best things in my life happen. Number one, on Friday, I did the world's first live video virtual reality horoscope. So not only was I streaming it live, but I literally did a video or virtual reality horoscope live at a conference in Santa Monica. But that made it to where I couldn't jet ski race this weekend. There were two huge races this weekend for jet skiing, and my passion and the thing that I want a lot in my life. And I had to work. Even when I came out here, I'm actually out here in Lake Havasu right now, so I was like, well, maybe I can practice, or maybe I can hit that last race on Sunday morning. By the time I got here, by the time that we settled in last night, and by the time that we got the skis in the water and everything, I mean, it was late. By the time we went out to dinner last night, I mean, I had no time. It's okay.
Sorry. I'm like trying not to freak out, but that moth was like on my hand.
I know. It's just a moth. The moths are out because of the light right now. We're in the desert, okay? But what was I going to say? Oh, so the most interesting thing to me about this weekend for me was I couldn't go this morning to the race. I wasn't going to be able to wake up in time or have the energy and just do it. So it's like, but I learned so much today on what I can do more for my racing. I learned so much today about the steps in life that we have to take that, you know what, we want things to be a certain way, whether maybe you wanted to do something this weekend, or maybe you wanted a relationship to be a certain way this weekend and it didn't go your way. Or maybe you expected it to be different. The reason why I brought up in the title of this, Epiphanies, is because of the fact that Mercury is retrograding and starting to conjunct Uranus. So weird things are going to happen that you didn't expect, that probably will either break down or not work out, but will give you insight into things that you hadn't seen yet. And so when you combine all these things happening with the end of Pisces, Mercury conjuncting Uranus in retrograde now, and more importantly, this retrograde energy that I think a lot of people, they think it's a big deal with all these planets retrograde. This is nothing. This is a very light retrograde time. Venus came out of the retrograde. Now, if Venus was still retrograde, I'd say, yeah, this is a gnarly, intense retrograde time. But the fact is, no. This is a time where Mars is leading the way in Gemini. We are starting to figure things out from God. We are starting to understand the plan, and even though we thought it would be one way, or we thought it was going to be a certain way, it's changing constantly, and our outlook on things, which were a certain way, are starting to become much more differently clear. And this is the time of Taurus, and this is the balsamic phase of the moon happening. You watch this week, especially as we have a new moon coming, and all this energy that's shifting, and the Pisces energy shifting, and Venus coming into Aries at the 0 point again. And if you watched, I actually did a really cool webinar on Astrology Hub talking about this 0 point. There's going to be...
Sorry! Oh my fucking god!
What, was it, a moth?
I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Oh, that was in my ear.
They come around. People are probably like, what? Are there people watching? Do we have people watching?
Yeah, like 500 and some in here.
Oh. So.
Holy sh! Sorry.
You want me to do it and just turn it around?
No, it's okay. I got it.
You got it? Mm-hmm. Don't worry, the moths, they come by, but they don't.
It was buzzing in my ear.
I know, it makes like a... But they're not going to stop on it.
Oh, I know, but still.
Do you want me to put, you know what, watch. I'm going to put this over your head.
Thank you.
Better?
Yeah.
Protected
So unless they come all in here.
They're not going to come in there. Hold on. You got to put it over your forehead. There you go.
Now I can't see what I'm doing. Okay.
Much better?
Yeah.
You look like a priestess. Chill. You look like a nun. They've been pretty nice to me. They've been kind of flying by my head, but not really. Anyway, I want to say that this week coming up with the big change of Venus into a new sign, the end of a lot of this Pisces coming this week in mean node. I'm a mean node astrologer. I mean, true node's pretty true, but there's something about that mean node. It's connected to the ancients to me. It's connected to the spiritual path of the nodes, because it's a lot more foretelling of what's coming. So the moment, I could probably write a book about this. Nobody's probably ever written a book about this in astrology, but there's a very rare moment in astrology where the mean node, like we're going to have on the 28th and 29th, move into Leo and Aquarius, but the true node moves into Leo and Aquarius on May 9th. So there's going to be this 11-day window here that's going to be really different. And it's going to be in between the shifting of the nodes. So remember this, folks, that over the next couple weeks is going to be one of the most major shift points that happen every 18 months in the gears turning in the universe, while Mercury's going to come out of retrograde. It's all right. He came towards me too. And we'll be done in a second, by the way. Mm-hmm. So we're getting prepared for all these change points. Venus is going to come out of Pisces where it likes. It's going to come into Aries, which is very dominant and very masculine. Mars is in a air sign, masculine. There's a lot of masculinity about to really heat up high on the planet, even more so than I thought. You know, the Pluto retrograde kind of brought things to a boil, and then it kind of calmed down. with the retrograde. But the truth is with this Mercury retrograde on top of Uranus, weird shifts in ideas, weird shifts in path, weird shifts in where things are going, things getting ready to majorly shift by the end of next week, and it's really coming towards May where the light's coming. So I'm doing this awesome webinar on Thursday, which is all about the light coming back and how to use this masculine energy, even though it is going to be extremely hot. This is going to be the next 4 months. Well, actually, I don't. What month are we in? We're almost in May, so that's 5. What's October? It's 10. So yeah, the next 5 months is going to be the hottest astrology you've seen on record. Then it's going to cool down a little bit with Jupiter coming into Scorpio. But how are you going to use this extreme light? I used on my 2017 horoscope, I said, folks, do not waste this year. When Saturn comes into Capricorn, things are going to change. Opportunities, I don't want to say are going to go away, but I think that, it's kind of like right now where you use this extremely, I was going to say fertile, but that's a feminine thing. What is it when a man has really good semen? What do you call it?
What? When a man has good semen?
Yeah.
He's like really fertile? I don't know.
Would that be fertile too?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or what are people saying? It's like there's another term for it. I don't know. This is a time where we can all use the light for the greatest, most powerful work ever. Some people, it might be too bright for them.
I have a mosquito on my finger.
I know. Well, like how, this light is attracting a lot of crazy, weird shit, right? Like moths and mosquitoes and stuff. Guess what's going to happen with all this light that's coming into May, and that's going to happen for 5 months until Jupiter comes into Scorpio. With Saturn in Sagittarius, with Uranus going to be trining Saturn again in Aries, with a new moon and Mars conjunct in Leo, and a Sun-Mars solar eclipse in Leo. This is going to be a major light that I'm going to talk about in this webinar. You can register now, get it at inclusiveastrology.com. We have limited seats available. And of course, if you sign up and some reason you can't make it, then I will send you the recording that way. It'll automatically send to you. And the price is not changing the next day. So, anyway, be prepared, everybody. What did you learn this weekend that you learned, whether you had a relationship issue finish out this week, whether you had something that you really wanted this week that you realized that you're in a stepping stone process, you realize to enjoy life and enjoy the steps that we take to go to the greatness in life. And you learn that the quality of life is by the slow building blocks. And the quality of life is by taking your time and appreciating every moment and making sure that you love every moment and that you learn to stay in the moment as well instead of pull yourself out of the moment. Remember when it's Pisces and Taurus, like we've been with the moon and the sun was in Taurus, it's a very muddy, slower energy. And with Mars and Gemini, it wanted to go really fast. Well, starting now, as the moon is moving into Aries and the rest of this week, with a lot of big things happening, and the change of Venus coming into Aries, that energy that kind of was happening a week and a half ago that almost scared a lot of people about war and stuff like that, I don't want to fearmonger, but what I'm saying is that kind of energy is coming back. Not literally, but just high energy fields again, of frequencies. And how are you going to now manifest it as the frequencies are going to get stronger, the frequencies are going to get hotter, and the frequencies are going to get higher? Because when you deal with fire signs, you deal with the highest ether. You're not dealing with earth, which is the bottom, okay, which is like, iron and stuff. You're dealing with ether, you're dealing with fire, you're dealing with spirituality, high intensity, high blue flame, red flame heat. How is that going to now happen what are you going to do with all this crazy stuff that's about to happen coming up this week? So, anyways, I had to do this. Make sure that you get to the webinar. It's going to be Thursday. The Light Returns on inclusiveastrology.com to register. And of course, my movie, which I did with Anna Naturalista, is out. You can download that at pathoftheprophecies.com, and actually not download, you can stream that. So if you want to stream that, it's there now. Thanks so much for all your support, guys. Sending you all the best energy, lots of love, and I'll see you guys this week on Facebook Live, especially on the app. Get the Leo King app, 7-day free trial. I have daily videos there, and I talk about all the sun signs every day, and you get notifications when these videos pop up and everything. You're missing out if you don't have the app. See you guys later.
I also just want to say they were hummingbird moths, and they're like the size of baby bats.
They are.
They're really big.
They're no
They're
joke.
huge. Okay, yeah, anyway.